Hi and welcome to John's Maths Book. In this video, we'll be exploring another key concept in mathematics. If you find this tutorial helpful, then please show your support by subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment. Your positive engagement helps me create more content and allows me to bring you more valuable maths lessons. Without further ado, let's go over to the whiteboard. Let's use triple integrals and spherical coordinates to find the volume of a cylinder. In this example, the cylinder has the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 9 in Cartesian form and is bounded by the xy plane where z equals 0 and the plane where z equals 3. Let's now take a look at the cylinder in 3D form using a graphing tool. So this is the cylinder in 3 dimensions. As you can see, it's bounded by the xy plane where z equals 0 and the plane where z equals 3. And we are going to find the volume within this structure. Our first step in the process is to convert the Cartesian equation of the cylinder into spherical coordinates. And so for the cylinder, we have Cartesian equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 9. And we need to convert all the x, y's and z's into rho, theta and phi. And to do this, we're going to make the substitution for z equals rho cos phi, x equals rho sine phi cos theta, and y equals rho sine phi sine theta. After making this substitution, we get rho squared sine squared phi into the bracket of cos squared theta plus sine squared theta is equal to 9. And using the trig substitution, where cos squared theta plus sine squared theta is equal to 1, we're left with rho squared sine squared phi is equal to 9. And therefore, rho squared is equal to 9 divided by sine squared phi. And taking the positive square root of both sides of this equation, we have rho equals 3 divided by sine phi. And now repeating the process for the upper plane where z equals 3. After making the substitution for z, we have rho cos phi is equal to 3. And therefore rho is equal to 3 divided by cos phi. To find the volume of the cylinder, we need to integrate over the region E and sum infinitesimally small pieces of volume, shown here as dV. We need to unpack this and define our region using spherical coordinates. This will give us our limits of integration for rho, phi and theta, and then look at what dV equates to in this context. Let's begin with finding the limits of integration for rho. To help us understand the region, this diagram is a view along the z-axis from the xy plane. In spherical coordinates, rho is the radial distance from the origin to a point in space and represents the length of the line connecting the origin to the point, so rho is always greater than or equal to 0. So in our example, rho starts at the origin, where it's equal to 0, and its endpoint is first governed by the upper plane, which forms the top part of the structure. And then at some angle of phi, its endpoint is governed by the cylinder, which forms the remaining part of the structure. And so, for this structure, we need a pair of triple integrals. In the first, rho begins at 0 and extends to 3 divided by cos phi. And in the second, rho again begins at 0 and extends to 3 divided by sine phi. Next, let's look at the limits of integration for phi. Phi is the angle measured from the positive z-axis to the line segment connecting a point in the 3D space. We know that phi must be greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 180 degrees or pi radians. And as we saw, phi started at 0 and its first endpoint is where the upper plane intersected with the cylinder. To determine the angle of phi where this occurs, we can equate the two equations in spherical form. And so the two equations are rho equals 3 divided by cos phi and rho equals 3 divided by sin phi. And equating the two gives 3 divided by cos phi is equal to 3 divided by sin phi. And using the trig identity where sin phi divided by cos phi is equal to tan phi, we have tan phi is equal to 1, and therefore phi is equal to pi by 4 radians. So for the first of the triple integrals, the lower limit of integration is where phi begins, and that's where phi equals 0. And the upper limit of integration is where phi extends to. And as we've seen, at the intersection of the upper plane and the cylinder, phi equals pi by 4. And therefore, pi by 4 is the upper limit of integration for the first triple integral. And then for the second triple integral, the lower limit of integration is where phi begins. So phi starts at pi by 4 radians. And as we saw, it continues to the xy plane where phi is equal to pi by 2 radians or 90 degrees. The upper limit of integration for the second triple integral is phi equals pi by 2 radians. And to find the limit of integration for theta, let's use this diagram to look down the z-axis onto the xy plane. In spherical coordinates, theta represents the angle of rotation in the xy plane around the circular shape formed by the cylinder and is measured from the positive x-axis in a counterclockwise direction. And so in our example, theta begins at 0 and goes full circle, which equates to 2 pi radians or 360 degrees. And so in each of the triple integrals, the lower limit of integration for theta is 0 and the upper limit is 2 pi radians. We've now defined our region using the limits of integration. Let's now unpack what we're integrating. So in our case, dv. dv represents infinitesimally small pieces of volume, and we are using triple integrals to sum each of these to get the total volume. Let's look at the dimensions of one of these. So if we look at the red shaded region, this represents dv and is an infinitesimally small piece of volume. We could think of this as a tiny rectangular box where the volume is given by the length multiplied by the width multiplied by the height. So let's apply this volume formula to the red shaded region. We can see that the height dimension, circled here, is along the radial distance rho, and is represented by an infinitesimally small piece of rho, which we call d rho. If we extend lines down from the rectangular box, we see that the width dimension of the box, circled here, also lies parallel to the xy plane, circled here, and is the arc of a circle where the radius of the circle we saw was r when using cylindrical coordinates. We also saw that r translated to rho sine phi when using spherical coordinates. The width dimension is therefore the arc length of a circle, which we know is the radius of the circle, in this case rho sine phi, multiplied by the central angle, which is infinitesimally small, and in this case is d theta. And the length dimension of the rectangular box, circled here, lies along the arc of a circle, and this dimension is calculated by multiplying the radius of this circle, which we know is rho, by the central angle, which is infinitesimally small, and in this case, d phi. So the length dimension is rho multiplied by d phi. If we multiply these dimensions together, we see that dv is equal to rho squared multiplied by the sine of phi d rho d phi d theta. And we sum all these infinitesimally small pieces of volume using triple integrals to get the total volume. So we now have our triple integral, where we're integrating rho squared sine phi d rho d phi d theta. Let's now begin the evaluation process. To simplify the process, let's work on the outer integrals first, as these are the same for both triple integrals. So we want to integrate from theta equals 0 to theta equals 2 pi d theta. So using the power rule, this evaluates to theta, and plugging in the limits of integration, we have 2 pi minus 0, which equals 2 pi. And now, on the left-hand side of the positive sign, let's work on the inner integral for rho. So we want to integrate from rho equals 0 to rho equals 3 divided by cos phi of rho squared d rho. And using the power rule, this evaluates to rho cubed divided by 3. And plugging in the limits of integration, we have 9 divided by cos cubed phi minus 0. And this equals 9 divided by cos cubed phi. So now if we work on the middle integral on the left-hand side of the plus sign, we have 9 multiplied by the integral from phi equals 0 to phi equals pi by 4 of sine phi divided by cos cubed phi d phi. Now to evaluate this, we're going to make a substitution. So we're going to let u equal cos phi. So du by d phi equal to minus sine phi, and therefore minus du is equal to sine phi d phi. If we now make the substitution and change the limits of integration to reflect this by taking the cosine of pi by 4 and the cosine of 0, we have minus 9 multiplied by the integral from u equals 1 to u equals the square root of 2 divided by 2 of 1 over u cubed du. Using the power rule to evaluate this, we get 9 divided by 2 multiplied by u squared. And plugging in the limits of integration, we have 9 divided by 2 into the bracket of 2 minus 1, which equals 9 divided by 2. And after multiplying through by 2 pi, the left of the positive sign evaluates to 9 pi. And now working on the right-hand side of the positive sign, we want to integrate from rho equals 0 to rho equals 3 divided by sine phi rho squared d rho. Evaluating this using the power rule comes to rho cubed divided by 3, and plugging in the limits of integration, we have 9 divided by sine cubed phi minus 0, and this equals 9 divided by sine cubed phi. And for the middle integral, we want to integrate from phi equals pi by 4 to phi equals pi by 2 of 9 divided by sine squared phi d phi. This integral evaluates to minus 9 multiplied by the cotangent of phi. Now the cotangent of phi is the same as cos phi divided by sine phi. So if we use this and plug in the limits of integration, we have minus 9 into the bracket of 0 minus the square root of 2 over 2 divided by the square root of 2 over 2. And this equates to 9. If we multiply by 2 pi, we get 18 pi. And if we sum the two triple integrals, we have 9 pi plus 18 pi, and this equals 27 pi. And so the volume of our cylinder equates to 27 pi cubic units.